Hey, viewer, I heard you're looking for a GTO? Because I got a GTO if you're interested. No, don't look at that, don't look at that. This thing's pure GTO. Those wheels, GTO. Engine, GTO. That front end, okay, don't look at that either. Just trust me, this car is definitely a GTO. Do you want it or what? Sucker. These viewers are dumber than I thought. No wonder they enjoy my humor. God bless America. So what exactly is this? Because in fact, it is not a GTO. It's a 1970 Pontiac GT-37. The GT-37. The roll sex of the car industry. Roll sex. Is that when you're having intercourse and then you roll off the bed? As a reminder, we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Here's the thing. If you don't subscribe to the channel, then I'm gonna let all your friends know that you were at the Kia dealership last weekend looking at a Soul, and we don't want that, do we? So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks, you guys. And Pontiac was trying to be a little bit sneaky with this car. They were trying to get some hot rods out there cheap and maybe to fool insurance a little bit, because this thing actually went through as a Tempest. Again, not a GTO. And cars like this are exactly why I love Pontiac and why they're never gonna die, baby. I mean, except that they did. But really, GM needs to think about bringing Pontiac back now more than ever. Pontiac added that extra little spice that just got people excited. Kind of like me on my wedding day.
You can choose whether tonight's gonna end with being a toaster, strudel, or a Twinkie.
But think about it, without Pontiac, what sort of exciting cars are we getting from GM? The Corvette? Come on, it's a glorified Kmart Ferrari. Oh, come on, chill out. I'm joking, of course. Everybody's fair game here. Obviously, the Corvette brings a lot of performance for the price. Not to mention, I love the fashion that comes with it and the osteoporosis. So what else is there? The Camaro? Whoops. Sorry, losers. So until GM brings back Pontiac, I guess we just have to admire this one. It came stock with a 352 barrel rated 255 horsepower, but you could upgrade that all the way to a 400. And if you got that paired with an automatic transmission, it had number 16 heads and was rated 330 horsepower. But if you got the 4-speed manual, now you got number 12 heads and it was rated 345 horsepower. And there's kind of a fun rumor with these 4-speed GT37s that the engine was actually a Ram Air 3, but without the Ram Air equipment. Now, for most of the sources I look up, they say that this isn't true, that it really was just the standard 400 engine, but I think that's a really interesting potential piece of history from Pontiac. But even with the standard 400 engine, John Sawrick, who was the GM historian for Pontiac, said that a 400 4-speed GT37 was quicker than a Ram Air 4 GTO, at least when they tested them both in private. And obviously they didn't release that information to the public because that might take away from sales from their beloved favorite child, the GTO. Not that I know what that's like, because my parents are always saying you need to be more like Cletus McFarlane because he's actually funny, and then make sure you pick up your crusty socks because they really smell funny. I need to move out of their basement. And you're probably thinking, how is that even possible that this car with less power could be quicker than a Ram Air 4 GTO? Well, it comes down to the difference in weight. The curb weight for a 400 equipped GT37 with a 4-speed was just under 3,500 pounds. But a similarly equipped GTO Ram Air, that was about 3,800 pounds. So the difference between the two being about 300 pounds, or as I like to say, your mom. So as a recap, this thing has 345 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of Pontiac ground-shaking torque. Inside, you'll find that the interior is fairly simple. I mean, this is just a dressed-up Tempest, but at least it's got that glorious 4-speed manual. Outback 355 gears would have been standard, but this car is here to race. You know what it's got? 433 gears. This thing is gonna beat that meat. As I already mentioned, this thing is definitely lighter than the GTO. With the driver sitting in it, it weighed 3,716 pounds. Now, is that the lightest car ever? No, of course not. But keep in mind, the equivalent GTO from that year with the driver, that's usually going to be close to 4,000 pounds. As you could imagine, this Pontiac was a screaming deal in 1970, and dare I say, one of the best deals of the entire muscle car era. The GT37 is essentially the Kirkland brand of Pontiac versus the name brand GTO. Just make sure you steer clear of the egg aisle. People be crazy. Am I right? Thank you. But the Tempest started out at only $2,776, and then you throw in the GT37 package, the transmission, and then that 400 V8, and you get a total of only $3,389. Adjusting for inflation in 2025, that would be about $27,870, and that does make this one of the cheapest cars that we've ever seen on the channel. And with a price like that, you think that these cars would get scooped up faster than cocaine at a 1990s cowboy's house party. But in reality, that did not happen. These did not get scooped up and snorted. There were only 1,419 total GT37s for that year, and reportedly only 238 of those had that 400 V8. 1969 Dodge Dart GTS. And I would say that I'm a fan of Mopars. You know, I love chili dogs and wearing tighty whities, and then my darn sister, she just keeps getting stuck in that same old washing machine.
I'm stuck.
No, you're not. You're dirty. You need a wash.
So I would say that I fit right in. But this car specifically is of the 340 variety, and that 340 was rated 275 horsepower. Of course, that was a little bit underrated, and 340 pound-feet of torque. That might not sound like too much, but when Car Life tested one of these in 1968 with a set of 323 rear gears, it ran the quarter mile in 1482 at 96 miles per hour. Now, what do you think is going to happen if you take a car like that, you fine-tune it, and you throw in a set of 430 rear gears? It's going to be an absolute rocket. It's going to be a little package burning some rubbers. Just like your boy. Forget Kevin Durant, they don't call me the Slim Reaper for nothing. And of course this Dart is going to be a little bit lighter than the GT37. Maybe not by as much as you had expected. This car drivers 3,560 pounds, giving it around a 140 pound advantage over the Pontiac. And then you pair that up with a quick shifting torque flight 3-speed automatic. Boy, this thing is going to be pretty darn dangerous on the drag strip. And I should mention that just like the GT37, this car is in fact not a GTO. And the big question, does it have a price advantage over the Pontiac? Surprisingly, it does not. The base GTS cars were $3,226, and that includes either a 4-speed manual or the 3-speed automatic. And then you throw in Sure Grip for $42, that gives you a grand total of $3,268. And adjusting for inflation, this car would actually be slightly more expensive than the Pontiac at $28,413 today. And does that added expense give it an advantage in the drag race? Well, let's see.
69 GTS 340. Two cheaters. Great. And going to go to the Mopar 1309 at 101.
What a fantastic race we had to start the best of three. It's the Dart that takes home the narrow win, running 13.09 at 103 miles per hour. However, that GT37 was hot on its tail, running 13.11 at 108 miles per hour. Let's see if the Pontiac can dial things in and catch a victory in round two.
GT37s that year. Does go to the Pontiac 1308 to a losing. To make sure to get on my Pontiac track straight. I got all right, and the win does go to the Pontiac 1308.
In the second round, the Dart had a better ET, but the Pontiac had a better reaction time. They crossed the finish line first, and therefore they take home the win, running 13.08 seconds at 109 miles per hour. As a reminder, the clock doesn't start until the cars move, so reaction time is not included in the ET. And in this case, the Pontiac's reaction time, 0.007 seconds. With things tied 1-1, let's check out that final round. In the final round, it's the Pontiac that takes home the win, running 13 flat at 107 miles per hour. A huge thanks to the owners for bringing out these cars. Both of them are absolutely gorgeous. Hey, come on, you guys, we're on that road to 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a like. I'm gonna see you at the next one.